Sometimes you may have to make a deposit claim for damage or unpaid rent when a tenant moves out. Even when you have a good tenant, there still might be a chance that they leave some kind of damage that needs to be taken care of. We're not talking about a couple of scuff marks and a few picture holes on the wall here. Those are considered just your normal wear and tear that every property would expect. We are talking about something that the tenant actually broke, such as a large stain on the carpet, an accidental hole in the wall, etc. Now, before we go into the claim process, I want to tell you a little about our Tenant Handbook. This is what we give to our tenants and have them sign before they move in. It's full of useful information and disclosures about what is expected of them and the landlord regarding payments and maintenance. Plus, there is a move-out checklist in the back. This checklist goes over all the things that the tenant needs to do, such as cleaning, paint touch-ups, removing trash, etc., before they actually hand the keys into our office. This list makes it very clear what is expected of them in order to get a full refund of their security deposit, and therefore there should be no surprises at the end of their lease. Let me be quite clear, I do not like deposit claims. I don't like taking other people's money. Well, let me clarify, I actually really don't like damages. Damages cost property managers like me time, because cleaning and repairs take time away from a unit being shown, time unnecessarily wasted to arrange vendors and repairs, and we don't make any money off of that. However, we must also keep our properties in good rentable condition. If damage or wear and tear happens, then we need to take care of it. So a day or two before the tenants even move into a property, we complete a professional written photo move-in inspection, which is saved as a PDF file for emailing to people if needed. After the tenant moves out, we do another inspection to compare it with the move-in, and we can easily compare side by side each area of the house to inspect for visible damages. If damages are spotted, we go ahead and arrange the repairs, and whatever the cost is, we pass that on to the tenant by placing a claim on their deposit. We cannot legally just take monies from the tenant's deposit. We have to hold the deposit in escrow and go through a process dictated by Florida law. The penalty for not doing this can be up to 3 times the tenant's security deposit, so it's pretty important we follow it. We use a form called a security deposit claim form. It has to be certified mail to the tenant, and it contains all the legal language required by Florida law to disclose to the tenant that they have 15 days upon receipt of the notice to dispute the claim in writing. How do we know when the tenant has actually received the notice? Well, we use a return receipt requiring a signature card that is mailed back to us to say when it was physically accepted. This claim form has to itemize the claims, whether we are deducting for just damages or unpaid rent. We also include a check for the leftover difference so that the tenant can accept that check without having to spend extra time writing back to us to accept the claim. So if the tenant does actually write back to us to dispute the claim, you need to expect a long letter. Usually when a tenant is upset and feels like they've been wronged by a deposit claim, we receive either a large package or a letter that is even more than a page or 2 in length. We might also get a bad review online to top it off. Therefore, for each claim we have to make sure that we are making a valid deduction which is fair and legal, even if the tenant doesn't think so. Plus, we have to have proof of the damage with photos and a written report. That means we are not scared into just sending the tenant their whole deposit back when they raise hell. We need to read through their arguments, double check the photos and claim to make sure there were no errors, and then finalise the claim. At this point we let our landlord know that there's been a dispute and give them the final decision with our recommendation as is what is best to do. We usually write back a final letter to say that we received their comments, but the landlord has decided after looking at everything to proceed with the claim, if the landlord chooses to do that. Now we can release the monies owed to the landlord. This whole process usually takes approximately 3 weeks or so from start to finish, and it's legally required by all landlords that rent Florida property. And this is also covered in our management fees. If you want to find out more, just drop us a line or visit us on the web at www.untitled.com. wemanageorlando.com.